What's up, YouTube? So last time on OK Speed Shop, you saw us get the old truck running.
Oh my God! Yeah! Yeah!
Now it's time to drive this baby. But before I can control the old girl from the captain's chair here, I got to get her starting with the key. So I bought a new ignition switch, and I'm going to try to remember how to tear this steering wheel apart to get down into the column and replace the key. Wish me luck. All right, got her put back in there. Seems to function as it should. I want to address the fuel issue. The fuel pump is too slow to pick up fuel, so it just keeps spinning and not picking up fuel. So I can squirt fuel in it and it'll start, but it'll run out of fuel before the fuel pump works. I think I'm gonna try to change out this fuel filter. I don't have one that is exactly like that, so I'm just gonna put like a little tiny clear plastic filter on for now, and then I'll replace the real one later. I got the little fuel filter on there. Just look how cute it is. Oh, look at the little filter, look how. So let me hook up the battery and then we'll see if we can start it with the key. I hope this works, man. This will be the first time to start this thing. Of course, there's no brakes. Hopefully we'll be able to start this thing with the key. Come on now. She's running. Yeah. Like a top, baby. And we're out of fuel. We got any fuel in the bowl? No. So I think the fuel pump is just kind of slow right now. I'm just gonna try to rev her a little bit. A little smoky. Yeah, now we're getting fuel. All right. We started to. As long as I'm revving the engine, the little fuel filter will fill up with fuel. But as soon as I stop revving the engine, it just slowly goes away until it dies. Which is no big surprise, seeing as how I've had to change out every single thing. But I think for this one to run in idle on her own, we may need to mess with the fuel pump. The question is the fuel pump the same on a straight 6 as it is a 350? I'll have to do some research on that. You guys let me know if you know anything. Well, I've been letting her run for a minute. Seems like maybe she just needed to get the bugs worked out of her. She seems to be feeding herself pretty decent now. Of course, she is running on her 20-year-old fuel. I had to kill it. We was about to have a mouse poop fire right here. I was having some trouble with the gear shifter, so I went and got some gear oil. Now, this is my first, honestly, manual transmission truck that I've worked on. So I was expecting like a transmission fill, like normal, and it took me forever to figure out where the transmission fluid goes and that it's gear oil and not like ATF, which makes sense because it's not automatic transmission fluid, it's manual transmission. So anyway, I'm gonna crawl underneath and see if I can top her off and get some gear shifterage. Okay, so we're under the truck here, and it's this guy. We gotta crack this thing and add the fluid from there. There's no filler. There's no, like, I have no idea how full it is. I think it's just supposed to fill up to that. I still haven't figured out how to drain this, if you ever needed to drain it, but anyway, I'm gonna try to get the fluid to flow into that somehow. Okay, next on the list is we got to get a little bit of breakage. See what the master looks like. I'm gonna assume dry as a bone. Ow. Oh, we actually have fluid in the front. That's a good sign. That's a very good sign. Okay, let me top it off and I'm gonna see if I can bleed some of this stuff. I don't know what's going on here, but this is very strange because I was able to get the bleeder screw open without stripping it. So I don't know what the other three are gonna be like, but wheel number 1 is ready to be bled. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can start this thing and pull it up into the rocks. At least it'll get it out of the tall grass. I don't know how this is gonna go, but we may get a sneak peek at the first drive early. This is not technically gonna count as the first drive because I am gonna fix the brakes and all that and actually drive it around, but I just need to move it. I'm gonna see if it'll move under its own power. So let's see. All right, in neutral. You ready? Come on, girl. No way. First start, first thing in the morning. She's doing okay. Come on, fuel pump. All right, so let me show you guys what's going on here. So as you saw in the last video, the thing was running fine. It'd sit there and idle. But me being the smart master mechanic that I am, I went ahead and hooked it up to its native fuel supply. And the gas that's been sitting in this gas tank is 20 years old. So I don't know why I thought that was a good idea, but I do have a fuel filter on here. So I thought, it'll run it. But now when I start the truck, it immediately dies. Like I put a little gas in the carb, it'll start and then it'll immediately die again. So I'm thinking there may be some varnish fuel that's plugging up the jets. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hook up just like a gas can of fuel into there and see if that changes it at all, just to make sure that's what it is and it's not like a fuel pump issue. Start right up, run for a second. As soon as it burns the fuel out that I sent it, it quits. So let me run it some fuel, external fuel, see what happens. So I had a little fitting here that I was able to just hook this fuel line directly up to where it goes. Got my electric fuel pump running to the battery and down to this tank. Now let's see if she'll run. All right, fuel going in and let's go. All right, so that tells me our carburetor's plugged up. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to pull this carburetor back off and take it apart now and just see if I can put maybe some B12 on it and clear out those jets, clear out that varnish fuel that I let go through there and let it flow a little more free. I wish I hadn't have done that. Man, the thing was running good. I'm gonna see if I can see where it's clogged up. So we know it's traveling through there. I mean, this fuel is gross, but it's not got floaters in it. So I'll put the carburetor back together just so it's not gonna be spraying so much fuel out. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and start it and let it burn the fuel out, and then I'm gonna ground out the pump so that it'll start adding some fuel once it's running. Add the fuel. We're just running on what's in the bowl right now. Add a little more fuel. That's impressive, really. So as long as we're getting fuel into the bowl, I don't see why she shouldn't run. I don't think anything's clogged up. That's good. I'm just gonna spray some of this B12 in there. A little pressurized nozzle here and just see if there's any trash in the idle port or any other ports that I could blow it out of there maybe and go from there. Okay, this is a good sign. Either it's out of fuel or the fuel pump's not working. Because we're idling good now. Sweet. Okay, so that's good to know. I was afraid that I had messed up this carburetor or something, and It's just getting fuel up to the carburetor is the issue. So I did have one more thought. Before I go and spend money on a fuel pump, let me just check to see if it's out of gas. I'm just gonna go ahead and put some gas in the tank and see if that helps her run. Got a couple gallons in the tank. Put a little fuel in the top of the carb. I'm gonna turn the key back on and just see if it'll happen to pick up any fuel. Here we go. What's cool about that, now that we're running on our own fuel, I'm gonna try to drive a little bit. I'm gonna kick her in reverse and see what happens. Good luck. Hey, real quick, before we get into that, I wanted to take just a minute and invite you to be a part of our Shop Dawgs membership program. If you're interested in connecting with me on a deeper level of getting to know each other more, members only videos, live streams, polls, things like that, having early access to our videos and being the first to know about everything that's going on here at OK Speed Shop, it's just a small fee of $1.99 a month. It's less than a cup of coffee a month. So if you're interested in that, click the join button below or tap the link in the description to join the Shop Dawgs. Now back to the video. That's awesome. Well, that's not too bad for a first drive. I think I need to fill the gas tank full of fuel. I think I probably need to change the thermostat out because it is very hot underneath the hood. If I can keep her not getting too hot, I think I'm just gonna start driving this thing around. Of course, I'm still gonna have to get some brakes because there are 0 brakes. So yeah, let's try that. I've got to pull this wheel off, measure the drum so I know which size wheel cylinder to get. So I'm going to go ahead and jack this thing up, pull the wheel cylinder off, and then we're going to go to the parts store and get all new brakes for this thing and a new thermostat and everything we need to make this a reliable rig once again. Yeah, I think we did good changing these out. She needs a little attention, a little bit of love back here. We're gonna get new wheel cylinders, new rubber lines, new calipers on the front. Well, we're making a little parts run. I got on Marketplace. Now, let me just pause here because I know one of you old boys is gonna be buying this truck from me because I'm just putting it together to sell. Now, I just wanna tell you, you're welcome because I'm going 2.5 hours to Hot Springs, Arkansas to buy you a hood and a tailgate. So I scoured the interwebs, found a good hood, and I also ordered you some new hood hinges and the Vice Grip Garage hood savers. And you guys, I don't know if you appreciate what I'm doing for you today. So I got about a 2-hour drive here. We're gonna go pick up these parts from the old boy and come on back and see what all we can get put on today. Good morning. All right, you too, thank you. Y'all already know what I'm doing. All right, I'm almost there. You guys say a prayer for me that I don't get shot or robbed. We're out here in the middle of Arkansas. It's always kind of a little bit sketchy going out here with just a wad of cash and just meeting somebody off the internet that's selling some rusty piece of crap part. I swear if this footage comes out as like my biography, like a memoir of my life after my death for this piece of crap truck, all I'm saying is, to the guy that's gonna buy this truck one day that's now watching this, you better be grateful. You're welcome. I hope you appreciate me risking my life for you. I hope this is not foreshadowing. See some cool stuff under there. Snap. Looks pretty good. You build these? So these are all yours. Wow. Oh man. Nice little square body. Was a 6-cylinder. Fix that real quick. Said the tailgate was down here somewhere. I think it's right there. Better view of her. I think she's gonna match just right. Holy crap, guys, I did not expect that to be as cool as that was. I didn't realize that these guys were just like us. This guy just builds all these old cars for himself. He just finds old hot rods and puts big blocks in everything and then just stores them until he sells them. That was cool. I wish I had more time. I would have spent all day with those guys. Comment below which one of those vehicles that you saw that you liked the most. So it's 100 degrees out here, so I had to set me up a temporary little mobile workstation so that I can complete this brake job without dying of a heat stroke. This is probably the smartest thing I've ever done on this channel. It feels great. It's 100 out there and it's like no more than 97 right here. I'll take it. All right, wheel cylinder number 1 is reinstalled. Seems like that's all put back together right. We'll see. It's just hard to move this thing by yourself. Moving the tent around is harder than building the truck. Time to get back to beating and a banging. Yeah. Well, this wheel cylinder didn't want to cooperate, so we're gonna have to bust out the old grinder. I didn't want to have to do this. Oh man, I just broke my wheel. That's what I'm talking about, baby. You're in my house. You're in my house. Better get that before I hit it with the mower. And wheel cylinder number 2 is done. Doesn't that look better? All right, guys, listen. It's hot. I took the old tent down. I'm about to die out here. I think what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to limp the old girl up under the awning in the shop where I've got concrete floor and I can run a fan over to me because it's too hot. I'm about to pass out. So I'm gonna see if I can ease her over there without running into anything. Yeah, this is way better. I got the fan on me, you can probably hear that. Sorry about the audio, I really don't care. It's better than dying of a heat stroke. Oh yeah, that's gonna look a lot better right there. Okay, caliper 1 is kind of installed. I don't have the hose done yet. And also, is this normal? Watch this. I mean, it's not any play up or down, but it can have a little bit of slide. I've got my slide pins as tight as they'll go, and they're run through everything, but I've got a little left and right play. I can't find anything online about it, so you guys let me know. Is that okay, or do I need to take that back off and change anything? All right, calipers are both installed, I think. And now it's just time to do a little brake bleeding and see if it worked. Well, as you can see, it's like 9 o'clock at night now. What should have been an easy brake job revealed my laziness. Thought I could get away with not changing this because, of course, all the brake lines were corroded and wouldn't come out, namely this guy. Well, after messing with it for about an hour, I've mangled the nut so badly, it's beyond repair. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use my little tube cutter guy and cut this off and reflare it. And I got a new fitting that will attach to the new hose. Yay! And 1 hour later, we got the single rear brake hose installed. Now I think we're going to be able to breed these brakes. I'm going to go ahead and try to bleed the back brakes, and then I'm going to bed. 10:35. I got no front brakes, so I'm going to have to do the hoses up there. I got everything soaking in Croil oil, and I got to do a little bit of other work, like actual work, tomorrow morning. So hopefully I can get back on this midday tomorrow. Might have to take me a nap too. Sheesh. Catch you guys then. All right, so now to remove the brake hoses, I think what I'm going to try to do is just cut this hose like right here. And I already pulled the little clip off of this, and I'm going to see if I can pull it through the hole and then just have to deal with it on this side with the metal line. All right, that cut pretty easy. It's leaking a little fluid out of there, but I don't think much was coming through this thing. Now I'm gonna see if I can, yes, I can push that through there. That's gonna make that a lot easier to deal with. Well, I had to use the double vice grip method, but I just got the first one broke loose. Thank you, Lord. If anybody ever tells you that they enjoy changing these rubber brake hoses, don't trust them. I'm so glad I got that done. Now I just got to bleed these brakes out, put the wheels back on, and see if it actually worked. God, I hope it did. All right, now that brakes are bled, I'm ready to drive this thing around and see if it worked. But I did notice last time I drove it, she was running pretty hot, and she was even puking out of the radiator just a little bit. So I did go ahead and pick up a new thermostat and gasket. So I'm gonna pull this thermostat housing off. And then after that, I think we'll take her for a little spin. Ew, kind of gross. As you can see, I mean, there's some good green coolant down in there, but I think our thermostat maybe has seen better days. Kind of discolored. I don't know, maybe it's perfectly fine. Maybe there's crap in the lines, but I am going to replace that. So I'm going to try to get this silicone or whatever this gasket is clean off of here so that I can put a fresh one down. Be sure we get a good seal. We're not spewing all our coolant out. All right, so here's our gasket. It seems like it's got some adhesive to it, so I'm gonna see if I can peel this paper off. Yeah, here we go. And I've already cleaned up the surface of our mounting location. And that's gonna have to work. I'm gonna crank her down and see how she runs. I think it's time to test this girl out and see how she starts up. Let her run for a minute. See what the brakes are like. What do you say? Hey, let me move my professional wheel chocks here. Oh yeah, that wasn't going anywhere. Good thing I put that there. I did go to the hardware store today and I got a throttle linkage, makeshift throttle linkage. Let me get that thing hooked up and then we'll go for a spin. Let me show you what we've got going right now. So here's our throttle cable. This is our truck throttle, but then this is our carb throttle here. So we've got to make something that connects from this portion of the truck throttle to this portion of the carb throttle. Now I've been just using this little yellow string. It's obviously not the best long-term solution. So let me show you what I came up with. So I went to the hardware store and I picked up a piece of all thread. Now this is way too long, so I'm kind of glad about because it may take me a couple tries to get it right. But I found these little joints right here. And I got a little nylock nut right there. So I should be able to put this one in to the truck side of the throttle and then measure up and cut this all thread and put this end in the carb. All right, so here's what I come up with. Got her bolted in there and there. Now here's where, when I press the gas pedal, it does this. Technically should work. I think let's hop in the truck and see if it'll operate for us. All right, guys, I think the only thing left to do is give her a test run. Give her a little key action. Throttle. Seems to be pretty responsive. Kind of backfiring. You hear that? Maybe I just need to turn my idle up a little bit, because when I keep my foot feathered onto the gas, it levels out. All right, my foot's off the gas now. I think we're better. I'm gonna kick her in reverse. All right, let's see what happens. Hopefully we got brakes. Let's check the brakes out. You ready? Oh man, we got solid brakes. So much so that it killed the truck. You know what, guys? I think this truck wants to run so much that I'm about to run her. Problem is, I can't see. I think we need to go ahead and pull this hood off. This is the old creased hood. I mean, as convenient as this is, and as nice as this hood is, I hate to take it off, but I think in the long run, it's gonna be in our best interest to go ahead and pop this baby off and throw her in the scrap pile. Need more extension. Story of my life. Is this normal? What you're supposed to use to get to that hinge? All right, now we should be able to see to get something done. Let's go. All right, let's see. Yeah. Well, that went surprisingly well for a first real drive in 20 years. The brakes worked great. Seemed like the engine was, you know, once it got warmed up, it seemed like it was running a little better. I mean, not great. Needs a little more cleaning up, but totally functional. So I'm pretty excited about the progress, man. I think now all I got to do is put the hood and the tailgate on, give this baby a good power washing, and put her up for sale. So if anybody's interested, she's a short bed. All right, I wanted to take Lenny B on a ride here.
It starts nice.
Starts right up.
It's not as loud as most of your others.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I better put it in reverse, not first. Don't mind that.
You're gonna crash the second time you drive it. The smell is nice.
A little bit of gasoline smell.
I like it. Don't forget Mommy and Libby are sleeping.
Yeah, they're gonna be mad at
It's
me.
burning. It's very creepy.
We're working on that.
Okay guys, I'm gonna switch you around. Hold up. So Matthew, the truck expert, is now out there trying to see if he can get that fixed. If not, I'm gonna have to walk home on the gravel or grass barefooted because I don't have shoes.
Okay, got it.
You think. That's the point. Okay, moment of truth. Did he fix it?
Of course I fixed it.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Oh. Okay, well,
Just got a little bound up is all.
yeah, totally. Because the truck completely stopped in the middle of the driveway.
Okay, so now that we got this thing running good, stopping good, it's time to clean her up. And I'm gonna clean out the bed. We're gonna install the hood and the tailgate, give her a good pressure washing so that I can get this thing sold. One last chance, if anybody wants this Computers for Dummies, I'm about to get rid of it. How about this for a transformation? So what I did now is I just took the old hinges off and put these new hinges on here. Got them bolted down, and I'm gonna put the springs on and then see if I can get this old hood to latch. All right, so with the new hinges on, I took the springs off the old hinges, and I'm gonna attempt to put this thing on here, but the problem is that it's pretty tough. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna hook this thing on, and I'm gonna see if I can't use a ratchet strap to pull this thing and hook it right here. I'm just gonna have to pull this enough that this hook will get close to about right here. And then I'm going to use this pry bar to try to get that thing to take a hold. So use caution if you do this, because if you don't get this thing hooked good, I think you could probably come in contact with it a little bit. That's how it's done, boys. Just like that. At least that's what it says to do in the owner's manual. Now that I have the hinges and the springs on, I think I'm gonna load the hood in the back, and I'm gonna drive up to Jimmy's shop and see if he wouldn't mind helping me set it on. Oh my God. Maybe that'll buff out. How many of these do you think you've put on in your lifetime?
Few hundred.
Before I leave out of here, I got to show you guys the update on Jimmy's 55. I haven't shown you in a while. So he's got the inner fenders on. What he's trying to do is get this thing ready to go, get the interior done. What's that guy's name you're going to do the interior, Jimmy?
Rivas in Sherman, Texas.
Rivas?
Yeah.
So that guy just got done doing some interior work for Gas Monkey Garage, Richard Rawlins.
So check it out. If you're not already following Gas Monkey on YouTube and what have you, got to check out this guy too. OK Speed Shop. Good stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna do like an all red seat, and then what carpet?
Red carpet, red headliner, red everything.
Man.
Inside solid red.
Code red. Man, that's gonna look good with that red interior. Jimmy, what do you think about all the aftermarket parts you've been having to put on this thing?
Well, I don't cuss no more since I'm a preacher. If I wasn't saved, I'd be cussing them. One guy called them kung fu parts. You have to know kung fu to get them on. So, yeah, I don't like them, but that's all I could get.
About to do a little oil change on this thing. Now, you've probably noticed that this old engine has been sitting for so long, and when I pulled the valve cover, all the valves were pretty black and charcoal-y looking. So I'm going to put some 1030 back into it, but I did go ahead and get some of this engine restorer and lubricant, and it's supposed to restore compression, horsepower, engine life, and reduce oil consumption. And the guy at the parts store said that it should stop it from smoking. So maybe a little bit of fresh oil and some of this engine restorer is going to professionally rebuild this engine. So that plus a good high quality bumper to bumper brand filter change But before I put all that in, I'm going to give you one more walk around to show a little bit before and after of how it runs like it sits, and then after the engine restorer, and see if it works. What's up, Bandit? Enjoying that breeze there? It's a little black. Oil is changed, filter is on. Now let me see if I can start it up, make sure there's not any leaks, and then we'll warm her up and drive around and see what the smoke looks like. Another thing about this truck that's not great is the exhaust system is pretty janky, and that's not really doing anything. So I got an idea. I'm gonna chop this exhaust off right here, and we're gonna put a glass pack on it. I'm going to attempt a low budget exhaust on this truck with no welding required. So I just got a bunch of little clamps and adapters where I'm going to clamp everything down, and I got some straps to connect it to the truck properly, and we're going to see if it makes a difference in how it sounds. So here's what I got going on. So the exhaust coming out of the truck is 2 inches. So I got a 2-inch sleeve here that's going to slip over that and onto this. And this is an adapter here that's going to adapt from 2 inches up to the 2¼ inch inlet for this MagnaFlow glass pack muffler. This thing is going to sound so sweet. And I'm just going to attach these with these little U-bolt clamps. Just going to bolt them down. They fit really snug, and we've got about 1.5 inches worth of coverage there. So I'm hoping that there won't be any exhaust leak there. But if there is, I'll just wrap the pipe, and I think it's going to be fine. Also, another clamp here coming into this 18-inch tailpipe, which is just going to dump out straight right before the axle. I also got these little metal strapping kits where I can just connect this pipe to the truck anywhere I want to. So I'm going to go ahead and chop out the old exhaust, and we're going to slide this baby in. Definitely think we're going to be better off than with whatever this was. Okay, so now it's time to clamp all of these parts together, which should be pretty easy. So here's the clamp that came off the truck, which will go there. And then I bought a new one for this joint, and then a new one for this joint and this joint. So I'm going to get these things tightened down, and we'll put the one on the truck to the actual exhaust pipe on the truck. All right, so we got everything clamped down really good. I mean, that stuff is not coming out anywhere. So now just to set this on the truck, strap it up, we should be good. She slid on there just like a glove. Now just to crank her down, strap her up, hear what she sounds like. What do you boys say we fire it up, see how she sounds? Just as easy as that, guys. Just a pretty basic edit that you can make without a welder, without any fancy tools. Just cut off the old exhaust and bolt this one on. I think it made a drastic improvement to what we had. It only cost me about $120 to do this, and it took me about a half hour. So I definitely think that this truck is more than $120 more valuable after that little revision that I made. I'm just going to drive around now and make sure everything's sounding good, feeling good, and on to the next project. Also, I didn't video this, but I was able to find the tailgate hinges and get them installed, make everything work like it should. So now we got a tailgate.